Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So we've got quite an interesting update on the Kingdom Hearts 4 voice actor situation. In case you missed it, a couple of days back, Zach Polkers, a known voice actor, ended up taking to Twitter to confirm that over the past year, he's done some voice acting work for Kingdom Hearts 4. This was a pretty insane scoop, just considering that the game hasn't received any substantial news for a while. We're not in the marketing promotional cycle of the game. We don't know when release is. It's not the typical type of thing to see a voice actor confirming that they have been doing work on a game when a game is at this point in development. Though he did ensure in his tweet that he had been given permission in order to confirm this information. Well, a day ago, that tweet was actually removed.
Where did it go?
There's a lot of speculation going on right now as to why this might be, but I'm gonna give you my opinion on this. I think it is, for one, a good thing. It sort of proves the validity of his claim that yes, in fact, he had been doing voice work for the game. The confusing part is that he was given permission, so why was the tweet removed? So I think that it's a case of miscommunication here, and I think this is what most people agree with, is that the agency that he was working for in regards to doing the actual voice work on behalf of Disney and Square Enix pretty much got their facts mixed up. Zach likely asked permission to post this information, and the agency went back saying, yeah, go ahead. Of course, this generated a lot of attention. A lot of people jumped onto this because this is a huge scoop for Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix and Disney would have caught wind of this and likely would have gone to that agency to kindly ask Zach to remove the post. Someone obviously got something wrong, but I don't think Square or Disney actually gave permission, rather it was on behalf of someone else. Now, there are some other theories here, like number one, I've seen people saying, oh, was bro just working on Missing Link and he got his facts mixed up because he didn't actually know what Kingdom Hearts game he was working on and just assumed it was Kingdom Hearts 4? Or is this dude straight up trolling? Is this fake news? To answer number one, sometimes voice actors don't actually know what specific project they're working on. That's not always the case, but it can happen. I think though that given the nature of the Kingdom Hearts story, it would have been made very clear to Zach that the project he's working on is in fact Kingdom Hearts 4, so I don't think there's a mix-up there. And to answer number two, is this dude just trolling? Zach seems like a relatively new entity into the voice acting industry. I think he's been active since about 2018 and he's had a few different notable roles, but he's very much still getting started in this space. So for him to take to Twitter and to just make up some information that he has apparently worked on Kingdom Hearts 4 would absolutely be jeopardizing his position as a voice actor. And especially because a claim like this can impact both Square Enix and Disney, this could possibly conflict with him ever getting any future opportunities from those companies. So I don't think this dude would put himself in a situation like this, coming onto the internet to just straight out lie. From the examples that I've heard of Zach's work, he's a really talented voice actor. And I do believe that he has done work for Kingdom Hearts 4. I do think this tells us though that some level of voice acting work for Kingdom Hearts 4 has started. And whether that be for the full game or a trailer, it's a good indicator to let us know that number one, a trailer is coming soon, or number two, the development process of the game is entering into some of its final stages. And so it should be. The game has been in development since 2020. I've also seen a lot of people comparing this situation to the Bill Farmer situation for Kingdom Hearts 3 back in 2015. Now, I don't blame people for comparing the two situations as they are similar. This is some unconfirmed information coming from a voice actor. However, while they are similar, they're also very different at the same time. When Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, made the claim that voice acting work had been completed for Kingdom Hearts 3 back in 2015, Kingdom Hearts 3 had only been developed for about a year and a half by that point. This is because Square Enix had to start Kingdom Hearts 3 from scratch on a brand new engine, UE4. So although yes, we all jumped to that information coming from Bill Farmer back then, very excited, it was a little bit naive of us to think, oh man, like, is it now coming out in like a year's time in 2016? When that would have made no sense whatsoever, as the game was still very early into development. Now with Kingdom Hearts 4 and Zack, the situation's a bit different. by the beginning of 2026, Kingdom Hearts 4 will have been in development for 6 years. It really should be at about this point in the development timeframe of the game that Square Enix are starting to do some of the cast and voice acting work. Because of how far through Kingdom Hearts 4 is in development right now, there is no reason not to believe that this information from the voice actor doesn't provide some kind of indication where the development of the game is and how it could potentially signal something big happening very soon, along with a release in the foreseeable future, looking towards Q3, Q4 of 2026. I absolutely knew, though, that there was something really fishy, really strange about how Zack could just drop information like that outside of the promotional cycle or close to, if not after the release of the game. That is absolutely insane, and I really did feel like he was breaking some level of NDA when it came to that information, and it turns out that that's probably what's going on here. I don't think he's going to get into any trouble. Again, I think it's just a mix-up. Something's happened, someone got the wrong information, and I don't think this is Zack's fault at all. Now, I do want to leave you guys with one last thing before we wrap this video up. Right now, we are only a few days away from Summer Games Fest. Obviously, anticipation is high. I am excited for Summer Games Fest, though, of course, my original speculation here was that I feel like Kingdom Hearts 4 has a better chance at the Game Awards, but there's a lot of things that are leaning in our favor towards potentially getting a big update and a new trailer for the game at Jeff's show. Now, I heard a very interesting claim last week. Kingdom Hearts 4 will be showing up sooner than people realize, and that the screenshots that we recently received are from that trailer. Now, a disclaimer about this information before people start going crazy is that I heard this information from someone outside of my regular sources, so I can't actually back up or verify how credible this information is. I had heard it from a good friend of mine in the community who had heard from a source of theirs. I don't know who the original source is or how they got the information, but I do trust the person that has told me this. This friend of mine has never come to me before with any insider Kingdom Hearts information. So they don't typically do this, and this is why I'm sort of more inclined to believe them. I also asked them and tried to screen, hey, like, do you trust this person? Do they have any credibility? And they more or less said, yeah, they've told me things in the past which have come true. This is all I know about the game right now. So what could this mean? Well, it could mean Summer Games Fest, and I was basically saying to him, well, this kind of like hard confirms Summer Games Fest. He said, not really too sure. All I know is sometime soon. So that information makes me think maybe not the Game Awards. It could be Summer Games Fest coming up in a few days. It could be a random state of play sometime in June or sometime after June. It could be September Tokyo Game Show on the basis that this information is correct. But I need to stress to you guys, don't start going silly with this, only because I can't verify for myself how credible the information is. This does make sense though, it ultimately does. We should be getting a big scoop to do with Kingdom Hearts 4 very soon, sometime within the span of 2025. It is time. The last trailer came out more than 3 years ago at this point. There's no reason why we shouldn't get a new visual update. However, though, looking at Summer Games Fest, I will be streaming that at the end of this week, so if you guys want to catch all of my shenanigans going on with all of the good gaming goodness that is going to be revealed there, then you can follow me over on Twitch. The link is in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Slap that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything going on here. A massive thank you to my wonderful patrons. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.